We are going to speak a language that Jennifer understands.
Tugenda n'okuba ntubaza n'olulimi olwo lwa Jennifer nawe alwakwetegereza.
We are going to clap for her in a language that she understands.
Tugenda kumuteerera mu ngalo omulingo nawe yetegereza.
So everybody like this. So let's do this until
leka tukole tutyo obwo tukuteera mu ngalo mu lulimi lw'ola akwetegereza. Mwebale muno.
My name is Sophie Kaserigenyi. I'm a human rights lawyer and I'm the founder of Sofgenyi Feeble Care Initiative, abbreviated as SFCI. We are a registered non-profit organization with a vision to transform lives of persons with disability. We advocate for inclusion, basing on the principle of leave no one behind. Our aim is to create a society where persons with disability live in dignity. I found this organization in the year 2019 during the COVID-19 lockdown, though we started being fully operational in the year 2020. I was inspired by my personal experience. 23 years ago, I suffered a debilitating bathroom accident and I sustained head and spinal trauma. This affected my nerves, causing a neurological disorder called cerebellar ataxia. This affects balance, control, and coordination of movement, and that made my walking a very difficult task. So since then, I've been unable to walk on my own unless I'm supported either by a human being or a walking aid, such as a wheelchair or a walker.
Nkusima Madame Sophie Amoti Gumpolgweru ati nsemereye mun kana Yesu wanga yeba.
Nkusima Sophie Betty habukumpa kagali kana nyonsemereye ije kuyamba kumturukia heru ndo kumutahia aho na tungaka kanya
amabara gange banyeta nyangoma zaituni nkusima munamoti Sophie abo ebirunge byatukoleire nyowe nkantamanyire ebirunge byakora kuno kafuna omuntu yangama aliyoko mwakaserege ebiri ebirungi moragya ija funa era nyaija nyabifuna bingi munebi nyafunire.
Sofgenyi Feeble Care Initiative has its bylaws that govern them. So it's these bylaws that dictate its governance structure. We have a board. I'm the executive director and also the secretary. We have a secretariat in Kampala, Ntinda. Our programs here include advocacy for inclusion, physiotherapy and occupational therapy, that is rehabilitation. We do socio-economic empowerment, capacity building, home outreaches, and physio and spiritual and psychosocial support. We aim at a holistic approach in order to achieve improved quality of life. So what we do as a team, we scout and penetrate the remote villages because we are more interested and more focused on direct service delivery. So we scout and traverse remote villages just to identify persons with disability. These are the persons who may be in need of our services, and we proceed to hold advocacy meetings right there in their communities just like we are doing right now. And through these meetings, we have achieved a level of sensitization, and slowly we are changing the way community looks at disability.
I'm Alex Mwesigwa, the chairperson of the SFCI Gambire. I want to thank Sophie, our grandchildren from here. Actually, Sophie has done something so wonderful on a voluntary basis. She has lobbied for us wheelchairs, which are equivalent to 71. And this is the spirit we need. I'm calling upon our children from here, from Hoima, from Bulindi, who are in overseas to come back and help the local community. Because we are seeing that like now here, over 41 children have benefited from this project initiated by Sophie. Sophie is also having some disability which was caused just as a result of sliding in the house. Now I'm calling upon the government and all contractors that wherever you're constructing a service center, let it be a hospital, a school, an office, let it have a provision for people with disabilities in order to avoid such disabilities that are man-made.
We, however, have many challenges. As I've said, we scout and traverse the remote villages. Some of our beneficiaries live in hard-to-reach locations. Some locations are really hard to reach. The roads are muddy, especially now in the rainy season, and some are almost impassable. To reach them is quite hard unless by car, and we don't have a vehicle. So a vehicle is our immediate need. We also need rehabilitation equipment such as wheelchairs, we need crutches, we need groceries, we need clothes, we need school fees. Okay. I know our government is interested in persons with disability. It's interested in inclusion. That's why there's a full ministry in charge of PWDs, that is the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, which is good. But when you go down there in the field, that's when you will realize that government hasn't actually done much, because these people are hidden away. They are totally unidentified. They are ostracized from polite society, and the stigma surrounding them is overwhelming. So they are not empowered at all, and they live in abject poverty. I therefore appeal to the government through the Ministry of Labor to at least allocate funds for procurement of wheelchairs. Because right now we rely on donors, on donations to get the wheelchairs. But I just wonder what will happen if one day the donors say, no, we've given enough to your government and the donations are no more. What will happen? Well, the government officials here, please, you have to look into that. But I also want to commend the government, because we have a beautiful legal and policy framework concerning disability inclusion. Unfortunately and ironically, this beautiful law looks mostly good on paper, but terribly lacking in enforcement. Okay? The reason I did not complete my back course at the Law Development Center is because I could not access the lecture rooms, which are on a higher floor, and the building is a high-rise building without ramps or elevators, and therefore inaccessible to a person using a wheelchair. So I could not. My dream about these children and any other person living with a disability is that they live a life of dignity. In Uganda, 12.5% of the population is living with some kind of disability. 16% of these are children under the age of 18, and most of them do not even go to school. So my dream is for them to go to school. My dream is for them, those who are really, really weak, we could do some rehabilitation, like physiotherapy, like occupational therapy. We could empower them. We could equip them with skills to earn a living. This is a big job. We cannot do it as SFCI Feeble Care on our own. So we are open to partner with whoever is working towards an inclusive society. All our programs are geared towards the needs and rights of persons with disability as guided by the national law, which is the Persons with Disabilities Act 2020, which resonates with an international law, the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, CRPD, to which we assent. Thank you.
And commit that we shall be together. In any case you call me, I'll add what I can for me.
Kandi ni malira ni ngamba nti tujagenda maiso ntu vaza kandi nja kuba ni mpayo kyone kinkusobora. But even if we haven't moved out of our families, my dear people, it's we ourselves who need to begin. Our homes should be reached by everyone. Now the most important thing, toilets.
Kikulu munakano bokusanga omwana ino obulema rundo omuntu ino obulema omuka atakiasobora genda halatrini na yegonza.
It becomes very difficult when you find in a home you have somebody who is disabled and cannot access a toilet.
Kandi gunu mulimo gwo mubiri gwaitu taino mlingara akiba kandi taino mlingara akiha.
And this is a body function. There is no way you can avoid that.
Na bwekyo nkusaba.
Therefore, I request that we may accept the conditions in which we are operating, so that we can walk a right way with everyone.
My prayer for all of you is that you must never allow the devil to make you feel you are less human. Because of a disability. You are our family. And are your family. And we are all children of God. May God bless you so much.